Hi guys, and a very warm welcome onto this video series on Playbox from Native Instruments. My name is Larry Holcomb, aka Get to Know, and I'm delighted to be presenting this video series for you. Now, Playbox is a very novel plugin, and I'm always excited when plugins come out which are a little bit different and have a novel, kind of fresh approach to making music. Now, Playbox allows you to make music by combining really kind of forward-thinking sound design with harmony and also layering to kind of develop really interesting sounds and also chord progressions. It's packed full of samples, chord sets, effects, and presets. So it really has everything you need to kind of get out of writer's block and get new ideas down very quickly and easily in a very intuitive way. So you can either use the library of presets that it ships with as a starting point, or you can randomize as well to come up with kind of happy accidents. Or alternatively, you can also import your own MIDI files and also samples to create sounds from scratch. Now, in this first video, we're just going to talk a little bit about kind of how to get some immediate ideas going with Playbox on a very basic level, and also we'll have a look at the interface as well. Now, this is the main page that opens up when we open up Playbox within Kontakt. And this main page is going to provide you performance controls, which allow you to kind of play and also tweak the presets. It's pretty stripped back, so just gives you immediate control over kind of the most important aspects of the sound. Now, as we mentioned before, Playbox kind of takes advantage of sample layering, chord generation, and also effects. Each one of these different kind of aspects of it has its own dedicated format. That is chord sets. You can see that's located down here. Sample sets located down here, and effects sets located in the bottom right here. Now, if we click onto chord sets, you'll see that each chord set is made up of 8 chords, and these can be composed of up to 6 notes. And we can play these by playing our MIDI keyboard. So you can see here the chord that's being played back. Now, the way this works is it's going to play back from C3 to C4. So 1 octave C3 to C4. If you can't hear anything playing back, just check you're playing in the right octave, because you may be playing outside of that range, in which case you won't hear anything. Now, we can use the MIDI controller to trigger an individual chord or whatever sequence we want. Or of course, we could use our DAW and draw in notes to try out different sequences as well if you're not too confident playing on the MIDI keyboard. Or if you don't have one available, of course. Now, these can be edited in depth from within here, and we're going to come on to that later. Okay, so we just come out of here. Now, when it comes to samples or sample sets, these can contain up to 6 samples per chord, with 1 sample being mapped to each note in the chord. So if we click here, we'll be able to see that in action. So you can see the 6 notes of the chord here and the sample playing back each one of those notes. And we can edit that from within this page. Come out of here. And then we have the effect sets down here. Now, this is where there's lots of parameters to kind of play within here. Now, effect sets are sets of effects, including parameter settings and also modulation assignments. And obviously, this is where we can edit them from within the effects page, and we're going to come on to that later. Now, as I said, the 8 chords are going to be mapped to 1 octave of the keyboard, C3 to C4. And when we play that back from a MIDI keyboard, we're going to play back that single chord with all these sample mappings. And we could also sequence that within our DAW as well. Now, just some kind of immediate features to get you started with the plugin. Up here, we can randomize the sample. You see this little dice here that's jumping around, and that's going to change up the sound that we have loaded up. We also have the global preset selector from within here. And we get an audition of the preset as we click on it. Double click to load that up. Okay, we have an XY pad here, and that's going to provide expressive control over effects parameters and can change kind of basic key aspects of the sound. And you can see that changing the parameters down here. Now, whereas we were randomizing the preset here, with this little dice here directly, we can randomize the chord sample and also effect set. So just a really great way of just trying to find some kind of inspiration to work with. And then down the bottom here, we have these macro controllers that allow you to quickly, say, dial up the reverb or dial it back. Same with, in this case, delay, movement. So these are going to allow you to have kind of immediate control over important parameters. And those are really some kind of immediate controls. So even from this first video, before you have to dive into anything further, you just want to have some fun, you can kind of get going with the plugin. Okay, so just to finish off for this video, let's have a look at the interface so we know where everything is and what it's called. Okay, so this is going to be our main page. This is kind of our default view where we've got, as I said, access to all these important parameters. Up here, we have the header, which we're going to have a look at. And then we have our chord sets page here, or chords page, samples page, and also the effects page. And that's it really in terms of the layout of the plugin. So main page, header, and then these three submenus for chords, samples, and effects. Okay, so that's just an introduction to the plugin, the kind of nuts and bolts of what it's all about, and also the way that you can just have some fun quickly working with the plugin, all the most kind of important aspects of it explained, and most important parameters just to quickly start using it, and also the interface, just so we know where everything is and what we're going to be looking at. Okay, so just a quick recap. Playbox allows you to combine chord sets, which you can play back from C3 to C4 on the MIDI keyboard. We can determine what samples are going to play back each note in that chord, so we can kind of layer up sounds, because that's the ethos of the plugin really. It's interesting chords played back using layered samples. And then we have quite an extensive effects chain that we can kind of add in here as well to really bring these sounds to life. Anytime we want to come out of these submenus, we just click on this little cross up here. So once we're in here, we know that we can randomize presets, and we get our main presets from here as well. We can also randomize chord sets, samples, and effects using the dice here. We have this macro kind of XY controller here, which allows us to change really important parameters on the plugin. And we also have macros down here, which are going to give you immediate control over your sounds too. And then through this chord page here, we have the ability to edit our chord sets. Samples allows us to edit the samples and how they're being layered. And also the effects page here allows us to edit the effects chain. And just finally for the interface, remember our main page, header, and then our three subpages, chords, samples, and effects. Okay, so now we've covered that introduction to the plugin. In the next video, we're going to have a look at the header. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.